everyone, it's your girl Nisi here with Wild Pear Tarot. Today we're doing a reading on Drake. Before we get started though, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Wild Pear Tarot. Alright, so before we get into it, I'm going to start shuffling. So I'm using a couple of different decks. I've already done my meditation and, listened to a couple of Drake records to kind of channel his energy. I'm using a couple of decks though. So I have the Morgan Greer Tarot deck. I got the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck. And then this beautiful, beautiful Spirit Animal Oracle deck. So these were the decks that Spirit wanted me to use for this reading. And we're going to cover a lot of things about Drake. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and then we're going to get started, y'all. So Drake, I believe he's coming out with some new music next week. And it's interesting because I had wanted to do a reading on Drake for about a week or two. I was thinking about it, and Spirit gave me the go-ahead to do it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So this should be a really cool and fun reading, just to give insight into kind of what's going on in his life, maybe any energies around him that he's dealing with. And of course, I know people want to know about certain aspects of his life, his love life, fatherhood, all that stuff. So, all right. So let's get into it. Now I'll move these cards over here. Whew. So immediately I'm getting some messages already, and what I'm hearing is he's crying over spilt milk. So there's something going on in his life right now where he's actually really upset about, and something that he can't change for whatever reason. He's upset about, and I'm actually going to, before I get into this deck, I'm gonna shuffle and pick cards from the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck, because Spirit's already talking to me about that. So before we get started, let me go ahead and get these out the way. Oof. But yeah, he's crying over spilled milk. There's something that has happened in his life that, like, he can't do anything about it. There's nothing he can do about it to change it. It's it already happened, but it's like he's still holding on to that somehow, and it's actually messing up some business deals that he had wanted to see come to fruition. It's like it's messing up some of his business deals that he had wanted to do some partnerships. It's something involving business. And I'm like, let me do all this at once instead of waiting until the end. And this is from the Spirit Oracle deck. So I'm going to shuffle. I really encourage people also, if you're getting into tarot, I would definitely get an oracle deck in addition to tarot. I think oracle decks are pretty powerful and give you, it's more of a deeper insight. So, oftentimes with tarot, it's more about the story. But with oracle decks, sometimes it can be just a word that pretty much sums up the story. And then you can dive deeper into that. All right. So that is that. And it's interesting. I was supposed to go through... Oh, yeah. Ha! It's funny. I made a list of like certain things that I had wanted to cover in terms of what's going on with Drake. So it's just like his general situation, then going into music, fatherhood, his love life, and then business. So already, Spirit already pointed out that business, there's something going on where he's upset over, but we'll get more into it. So let's see the cards here. Oh, damn. Okay. All right. So I believe Drake is a Scorpio, right? He's an October baby, OVO, of course, that type of energy. But whew, I'm getting a lot of Spirit's telling me there's a lot of like entanglements and partnerships that he's like got himself mixed up in that aren't, they're a bit seedy. They're a bit seedy and like even I'm sensing even some kind of bloodshed, like where there's like fights, like physicality. It's a lot of physical things, but it's also a lot of things that he's probably trying to direct, but struggling with mentally. So this has a lot of sword energy, and so it's like, so pivoting to the music part, Spirit is telling me that he struggled a lot to put these new records out. Like it's almost like he's been having a bit of creative dissonance. He's been having he's been feeling very stuck creatively over the past couple of months, and it could be just because of, you know, what's going on with the pandemic and everything. But he's been feeling there's a manager that he feels like he's like creatively bound to. Like there's something going on with, it's interesting. I feel like there's something going on with his producer 40 that he's starting to feel bound to, almost like there's this energy of like the brotherhood. The energy here is just something about partnerships and the partnerships that he has had over the years that are, he's become so woven into that it's hard for him to separate, and it's almost like he's ready to separate. It's interesting, like I'm seeing a vision of, you know, twins who are connected at birth, and it's like hard for them to separate. Like one of them could, if the decision is to separate and to do the surgery to do that, like it will be difficult because one could, like there's a risk, huge risk involved. And I think that he's meandering between the risk of leaving one partnership, starting another one, or staying in the same situation and not growing in the ways that he wants to. But I'm feeling like there's gonna be, somebody's about to cut something off though. There's a lot of sword energy, a lot of energy of partnerships. And he's really been struggling in terms of the partnerships that he's had over the years and forming new ones. There's not a lot of people he can trust. I think that he's carried a lot of people quietly. I mean, it's like some, you know, he'll boast about it in some of the songs, like some of the things that he's done, but there's a lot of things that he's done, especially when it's in his family, because I'm looking at this card here, especially in his family, he's carried a lot. He's carried a lot, almost like too much, and he's like bore the brunt of he's bore the brunt of like the responsibilities in his family, which, I mean, oftentimes if you're the person bringing in a lot of financial abundance, a lot of most of the prosperity, like, you know, some of his business deals are off too. Like, Spirit's talking really fast. There's also I'm looking at the King of Swords here and the Knight of Swords. There's either this is reminding me of some kind of father-son dynamic, or like someone he's either mentored, or someone who has mentored him, that there's friction now. There's friction between them. So it could be, it could be between him and his father, or him and I'm thinking him and Jay-Z, or like somebody who has met, or him and Wayne. It's just some sort of, and it's all very quiet. It's all very like quiet. It's all very in the mental space. It's all very in the thought space. It's not too much into anyone taking any sort of action. Not too much of anyone taking any action, but it's definitely, there's some friction here between, again, this is a lot around partnerships. This is like the energy of this reading is a lot of the people that he's connected to, he's tied to, whether that be in his love life, in his businesses, in his music. There's some struggle going on. Even in his family, there's some struggle going on, because it's like he feels like he's tied to a lot of these partnerships. His hands are tied to a lot of these partnerships, and he's trying to find a way to break free from them, or he's determining how he can do that. He's like in the process of like trying to think about how he can do that. Spirit's saying he's been a bit of a lone ranger, actually. I'm like, yes, you see, it's interesting how, like, you know, you see him. I think recently he was on a trip to Barbados and stuff, and you'll see him around a lot of people, but he's actually lonely. It's like it's interesting. He's been feeling, in his love life, he's been feeling lonely, like, he's still, Spirit saying is like, he's still fucking bitches and stuff. Like, he's still, you know, he still has women that he's tied to and will have something casual with. But in terms of like building something, he's still looking, I think he's still looking for that person to build this with. His energy is very much like, this is the energy I pick up mostly from him. And then also this energy here when it's tied to either an older figurehead or some kind of mentor. So his love life is like, he wants this. He's thinking about this, but it's not. It's all in the mental, though. It's all in the mental space. He has not decided to take action and to really find his life partner. It's like he's still in the thinking about it phase. He's actually in the very night phase of like, I'm not seeing any sort of action that he's taking. I want to pull one more card to actually focus on his fatherhood for him, because he has a son now. So what's going on in terms of fatherhood and him raising a child? What's going on with that? Thank you, Spirit. Oh, this is the first one that came. Okay. Oh, my bad. Okay, this is actually supposed to be upright. All right. So I got this is the Seven of Wands. So he's getting even more female attention now that he's a father. Like, that's strange, right? But Spirit's telling me, like, he's getting more female attention now that he's a father. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, because again, this is on his mind, but he's not taking action. So I'm also hearing it's like there's a lot of voices trying to tell him how to parent, and he's trying to like figure out a way he's trying to find the right way to navigate fatherhood. Like he's still trying to figure out how to be more engaging with his son, how to be more present. And it seems like there's a lot of people trying to tell him how to be a father. Like I keep hearing, like, Spirit keeps saying there's a lot of female voices around him. I think that he's actually gone to for advice. But he's kind of let their voices kind of overtake him as far as how he can father, how he can parent. And now I think he's trying to figure out his own way. He's trying to figure out a way that he can like cut out all the noise and just be more centralized in his values and what kind of father he wants to be. But there's some kind of estrangement right now, again, with these two cards. There's some kind of estrangement right now going on with his father right now. There's some kind of estrangement. You see how they're like looking away from each other? And then one is, particularly the Knight of Swords, has this very like anger, a lot of the energy of like pain, of anger. This person is very much feeling much more, Spirit saying like this person is feeling more so one accord with like who they are and what their values are and where they're going. There's growth here with this type of energy. This type of energy is just it's a bit darker. And it's like meaner, it's more aggressive. But there's some sort of estrangement here. And again, this is, this is all boiling down to the relationships and the partnerships that he's had over the years that unfortunately have been causing him this right now, or he's been feeling this in the most recent way. So yeah, I mean, trying to see if there's anything else. We can ask why he was in Barbados. I think a lot of people want to know if he's still in love with Rihanna and stuff like that. But, I mean, we can ask. Spirit, what's up? I'm like, a lot of people want to know, like, oh, why was he in Barbados? He still has friendships and ties to Rihanna's family, just because, and business ties down there too. So he might not be, and Rihanna put him on. Rihanna put him on to a lot of things that is happening in Barbados, because that's Rihanna's home country. So a lot of people, think, oh, he's just there to, because he misses Rihanna, so what, blah, blah. But in reality, he's there for business and to have a good time. Now, this card jumped out. So, this is the Nine of Wands. Yeah, Wands energy here. He's not that interested in Rihanna right now. His guard is up. This whole situation with Rihanna is, like, his guard is up right now when it comes to her. Now, that doesn't mean he isn't, able to be okay with other, you know, her family members and things like that. But he's protecting his heart right now. And again, like I mean, going back to this, like this is something he wants. Right now, this is not showing that he wants that with Rihanna per se. Not right now. His guard is up. He is he's very much protecting his heart when it comes to her. He's protecting his heart. He's protecting his space. I think because he got hurt before. I think because of some of the music that came out in connection to him, that really he personally took offense to. Like, he personally took offense. And like, I think she finds him corny sometimes, but like endearing. But sometimes he lays it on thick, and like, he's such a cornball. I don't know why people don't see that, but he can be a real cornball. And right now though, he's like, this isn't the, you know, the energy I'm feeling from this is like, I'm gonna protect myself right now from her. Like, he's guarding his heart, and this is just not something that he's interested in moving forward with when it comes to her. Yeah. All right, so let's move into the Oracle cards, some deeper insight into Drake and like what else is going on with him. So we got the White Swan, and it says the power of divine grace is within you. Okay, with the white feather. And then this card, let me flip it over. Grouse. Embrace the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance. I think with some of his videos, you see that? Okay, I think with some of his videos, there's gonna be more movement in his videos, like more dancing, more like when he came out with the what's that song called? I was just listening to that song. It goes right foot up, left foot slide. Can't let this one slide. I think it's like the Tootsie slide or whatever he called it. Whatever he called it. But yeah, I think there's gonna be more movement in his videos for some reason. Like something where there's more dancing. I don't know. I think for him, he may be going through another transformation or some kind of transformation where he needs a lot of grace, or he needs to extend grace to others. Something about other people's frugalness that he does not like. He does not like people being cheap. He does not like people being very frugal, and frugal in terms of like Scrooge, Mr. Scrooge frugal. He doesn't like that. And so there's some grace that I think he has to extend, because not everybody is financially on his level. So he needs to, it's about extending grace to others is something that he has to deal with. And then grouse, embrace the power. Let me look this up. Ooh. Yeah, it's like he's gonna get back into creating. I feel like there's gonna be some songs from this new album that are really gonna make people want to dance. And I think there's gonna be maybe one single or two singles or something. Like I think he may have at least one or two singles off this upcoming album that is just gonna be like dance records. That people gonna be like, hey, that type of thing. Like it's gonna be. He always has jams, but like I feel like he's more so getting into like the movement, like making songs for people to have fun and dance to. I'm picking that up, that type of energy. And if it's not off of this upcoming album, it's gonna be off of some singles or something that he's trying to come out with in addition to. But maybe the videos, like it's just something where there's gonna be more dance records, more dance, more movement in what he's doing. Or I'm also picking up like films. I think he's getting ready to I think he's getting ready to get back into films again. But let's get into the spirit animal oracle. Sweet results. Oh wait, so this is the bee spirit. And number 7. Number 7 is a really powerful number. I'm still learning numerology, y'all. So but bee spirit, sweet results. Oh wait. So this is actually, when this album comes out, it's gonna be a sweet time for him. This album is coming out, I think, next week. I think it's gonna be a really good time for him. Again, this like, let me see here. And I think it's more about like how he's gonna handle or reestablish these partnerships. It's like he's gonna have to be nicer. But you attract more people with honey, right? You attract people with honey. So when you're sweet, when you're kind, when you are, you know, you extend grace. When you extend grace, and you're much more, when you're much more compassionate to people, that stands out more than the aggressiveness, than the anger, like that type of energy. So I think it's saying he's gonna have to, in order for him to attain the things that he wants, he's going to have to take a much sweeter, nicer approach than what he's done in the past. Yeah, I think this is also something where he's been, I think he's going to be taking more breaks too. It's like, I think we've noticed he's been putting out less music. And I think it's like, Spirit's saying it's like less and less music over time. It's like I think he wants to enjoy life more. He wants to enjoy more of his life and enjoy the things that he's created for himself. And again, with the whole partnership building, like he's going through a rebuilding phase too. Some sort of transformation phase where he's really aligning or wants to align himself with partnerships that are like better for him, that are just healthier for him and better for him. And he still has his guard up, he still has some walls up, but if he can extend grace to himself and to others, and really be more intentional about the partners that he surrounds himself with, and if he he needs to forgive, like just at the beginning of the reading we were talking about him crying over spilled milk. It's like, you know, he's gonna have to learn how to just let some things go, and to not separate himself from the people that do love him, because there is a loneliness factor that he's been feeling. Like even though he's around friends, I think he still wants some kind of companionship. Again, that 10 of Cups card came out and he still wants that, but he hasn't taken any action on it. I think there's some fear there. There's some guards up, some walls up. But again, sweetness works, y'all. It does. Okay, so I think that's it for my Drake reading. All right, y'all. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Again, this is your girl Nisi here with Wild Pear Tarot, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. All right, bye.